Camp.
Hello, Camp.
Hi.
Hello. How are you? We are
Making
marshmallows
Two.
into.
Hi.
Who's on here, Serena? Who we got?
We got Jack
Hi, Jack.
and Jack.
And
Jack.
Hello. Welcome to Tasty Tall Tales, and we are
Making
Some
s'mores
today.
Yay!
with you. So,
Okay,
you have your little, you got your little Tasty Tall Tales pack. You know.
Jack said to hold on 1 second.
Oh,
Okay.
holding.
Got you.
All the way holding. We're just really excited here.
Can't wait.
We're just so ready.
I have a nice smash. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful harmony, guys.
Serena, you have such a beautiful voice.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Does he have...
Have we also acquired some s'more supplies? Nice.
Perfect. I can't move my head too much.
Why?
My mallow
Why is that made?
because I am preparing my mallow on my head. It's the
You're
only
just warming it up with the fire.
right. I'm warming it up,
This is how you warm up.
and I have to. check
How
the
are we
grams
going
to
to
make
do
sure-
this, though? How are we going to do these s'mores, though?
They're gonna be raw s'mores, but that's still good.
Have you ever had the traditional raw s'more?
It's a delicacy in some
Since
countries.
it's time travel week, we are taking it back to the days
Before fire.
pre-fire.
Firebringer.
Free fire, but post s'more.
The coyote hasn't run up to the mountain yet. You know.
This chocolate, Lucas.
Fire, but we have s'mores.
I'm assuming you're
Not
not
yet. The small and big paper plates.
mallow gram.
There you go. There's your stuff for s'mores. Happy breakfast. Okay, Camp Leslie, we're having s'mores for breakfast.
Those are really good.
Also breathe on it for a long
Mhm.
period of time.
That is what I'm gonna do.
Thanks, I woke up a half an hour ago and I'm having s'mores for breakfast.
Yo, I think it's looking pretty good.
What was it, Jack? What did you say, Jack?
I only woke up a half an hour ago and I'm having s'mores for breakfast.
Yeah.
That's the way to
That's
do
how
it.
we do.
Well, now that my s'more's been heating up for a while, I think it's done.
My s'more broke, but that's okay.
Ah, look at s'more done.
Nick, your s'mores so soft.
So melted.
Melted.
It's crazy how fire can do that.
Wow.
Luke, I feel the
Crazy
same.
fire gave you a container for it, too.
This fire is very welcoming. They want you to succeed here.
All right, Scoot. How do you make your perfect?
Alright, so ready?
Do you check your grams?
Check
What?
the grams.
Check the grams.
Yeah.
Oh, there's frosting on your s'more. I
So
want
you see
frosting
you
on
have
my
your
s'more.
grams, right? You gotta get the perfect grams. And you slowly take a plate preferably, but we do not have plates. Place it down perfectly.
Plates are-
And you take your
See,
chocolate.
that's the hard part about doing raw s'mores, not breaking the thing.
Alright. Then you have to take your chocolate, preferably you get the 2 Hershey pieces, put it in a diamond on the graham
Oh.
cracker.
Interesting.
It's a new innovation, but it just spreads out the chocolate a little bit more with each bite.
I see.
Then you take the marshmallow, you gotta squish it out a little bit, flatten it out, make it look like a package, as Hallie would say.
Yes.
Then you place it down firmly, take the second one, match it.
And be careful not to break your grams, because that's just like a vibe kill.
My grams are broken. That's why I'm gluing them with frosting.
You have more grapes.
I wanted
See,
to-
like this. What?
That little piece.
I'm trying this diamond technique. I enjoy it.
The diamond technique.
So it doesn't break.
Setting the square with the diamond.
Yes. Because I love the geometric patterns are just like the square on the s'more.
Okay.
So, Jack, are you ready for some
Tell you a story.
hangout story time?
What?
Are you still making me some more?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
perfect.
We'll chill for a
I
minute.
ate 2 s'mores for breakfast. Yay.
Ooh.
I guess it has about like 5 grams of protein.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. You know, the s'more.
Yes.
Yeah, and not only in deliciousness, but also in nutrition.
It
Because,
goes like vegetables, protein, s'mores.
It's more.
well, the graham also has pine needles in it, which has lots of fiber. And chocolate
Fiber.
has zucchini.
Why do they call them graham crackers? They should call them pine crackers.
I don't know. I
Exactly.
Graham
don't know.
crackers actually have 2 grams of protein in them.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
And,
What do you
and
know?
Chocolate has wonderful.
Would you look at that?
House
Ooh, that's got the chocolate on top of the marshmallow going on. I dig
Nice.
it.
I ripped it a little bit to make the marshmallows more melted, I guess.
I see. I see the technique.
I love that
It's to
technique.
get like the chocolate to spread. I see what you're doing.
Shall I
there.
roast my s'more
It's gravity.
in the fire?
Ooh.
Kelly is toasting her s'more near
Does it look like I'm toasting
the
it?
fire.
Hey Pig, can you hold this for a second? Thank you, bud.
He's too busy dancing.
Oh, he's too busy dancing out.
Just keep
He's gotta get
tipping.
excited for story.
Of course.
As one would be. Ooh, my mallow is coming out of the holes of my graham.
That's how you know when it's ready.
Yeah. It's so good and melted in there. This fire really did me right.
Jack,
Hi, Ashley.
Hi,
Ashley!
Good. And Aiden.
Good.
Hi,
Aiden. Get you a s'more.
Get you some s'mores, kids.
Gather your. Yeah, cozy up to a fire.
To an imaginary fire. Similarly to us.
Ours is very much wood.
Ours is real though, so.
Secret to the s'more technique is having the diamond chocolate.
Yes.
It is. It really. It's a game changer once you start.
Warm. It's a little cold in here.
Right. It
Ah,
is.
yes.
Wait, would you like to go over one more time how you
S'more.
Yes. S'more, do s'more?
I'll take it apart just to show you.
Okay.
I put my graham,
Wow.
melted mallow, chocolate in the middle,
Boom.
graham, squish.
Beautiful.
But you know how important it is to make sure your graham is stable.
Yeah.
But also not too crunchy that when you bite it, it's gonna just crumb.
True.
Like there is a science behind the perfect graham.
My graham is in 4 separate pieces on the bottom here.
Wait, I
As
have
you
a
can see,
question.
I've glued it together.
Does everyone like your graham, your mallow, do you burn it? Just make it light brown? Or-
Oh, I make it like golden.
From like white to gold to like brown to burnt. Where are you guys on the scale?
I'll tell you. I like to be right before burnt and then peel off that layer and
Oh.
eat that and then re-roast the inside.
No,
That's
no,
very
no.
strange.
What?
You gotta get that golden.
No judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone.
Jack, what about you? Where do you get your marshmallow on the scale?
Do you like a burnt mellow or do you like a golden brown mellow?
Suspense is killing.
Must know. I'm creating a mess.
I like
Sounds
golden. That's what I do.
Ashley and Aiden, what about you? Do you like a golden brown mellow, or a burnt mellow?
Or raw mellow.
I kind of like golden.
Golden.
That's the way to go,
He's on the
I
same
think.
side as
Do you know what I think though? This is what I like to do. It should be darker than the graham, lighter than the chocolate.
Ooh,
A gradient.
Interesting. Interesting.
I dig it.
Thank
Thought.
you. I'm creating bushes.
Oh,
Oh, that's what those are. Very beautiful.
yeah. You
Yes,
wanna hop
these
into
will
our
come
first
into play.
story? Have you guys heard the story of the 8 little pigs?
Anyone heard it?
Anyone?
It happened here, so you probably have
It
it.
sounds familiar, but I think I heard one about 6.
The 6?
6 little 6 a little low.
Well, have you had the summer go-to at Camp Leslie?
Not summer go-to.
Wow, buckle
Well,
up.
Wait, did any of you guys hear about it? The time that like we were all here and we had this huge like storm come through.
We're all okay.
It was the Hurricane Tyler.
Hurricane Tyler, year of 02. I was only 2 years old.
No
Also on
takers? All
side.
right, well,
All right.
we'll get it started.
Yeah. So basically, what had happened
What happened
was this huge storm like trudges through camp.
Well, we were all here.
Yeah,
It
we
was
were
very
all
scary.
here and we were freaking out. So we're all just like chilling in the lodge, trying to stay safe. And we're playing like Encore. We're doing the dating game, just minding our own business. We walk out and all the cabins were just like lifted from the ground and flown away. Like
Not
all,
one cabin in sight.
Yeah,
All of them
no.
landed in the pond. It was awful.
It was so terrible.
Floating
So, like,
down.
we didn't even have the wood there to like rebuild anything, and we're all just wearing our clothes that we showed up in. So we were all freaking out as one would.
That's one.
So
in this
then-
situation.
Yeah, so then Tyler was like, all right, well, like we were all just sitting there looking at each other, like thinking that, I don't know, someone was gonna come do something.
We're like, this dating game's gonna have to go on for a long time.
Right,
Very long
like we're all
time.
gonna be stuck here forever. So then Tyler was like, well, can y'all stop staring at each other? Like we need to like
Chop chop.
fix these cabins, chop chop, like it's not gonna fix themselves. So we're all like, okay, like
I guess.
do I look like Home Depot? Like I don't know how to gather these supplies. So I was the one who was like, I looked at Luke and I was like, we really need to figure out how to rebuild this because we're all just like stuck standing here. So I went into like my car over there and I was like,
What do we
all right.
have?
I was like, all right, let's see what I got going on in here. I had like some clothes. I was like, that won't last 5 minutes in this storm. But I found all these straws that I had collected over the years from like Dunkin' Donuts, Perk, Starbucks, all those things. So I just have like thousands of straws. So I was like, all right.
Just never cleans out her car.
Yeah, I
Classic.
don't. I really don't. And I had like some paper bags, but I was like, no, that'll disintegrate in a minute. But I thought that the straws might work. So I started like building this coliseum of straws from all these coffee places. And it lasted for like a minute. And then Tyler came over and was just like, so what are you guys working on over here? Yeah, that's mine. That was
an example.
That was a representation of mine.
Exactly.
He just came over and was like, this won't work. And like,
Poked it.
just poked it once and the whole thing went. I was like, okay, well, if you hadn't touched it,
It would have been
it would have been
fine.
fine.
But,
Like there wasn't a door on it or any windows, but like
But
we could have
still.
figured it out. Like there was no need for that. But anyway.
There was no need for Tyler to go over and touch it.
Exactly. It was just honestly like kind of inconsiderate.
There's a hurricane going on, but like he
touched your
poked
straw,
it.
though.
Yeah, the hurricane didn't affect it at all.
I
The
know.
poke?
I was so mad.
The
but
wind went through the straws, of course.
I guess it was better that he knocked it over though, and that it like didn't happen on its own. You know.
True.
So then Tyler was like, all right, well, I'm going to go to the BA and see if they can figure a single thing out since Maeve has just made
A
house
straw
out of
house.
straw.
Straws.
Not even like the good straw. Like these straw, I mean, I'm not going to lie, these straws were tiny.
They're like the 2 for $50, basically.
Right. So it was a mess. But then he goes over to the BA.
And Bubba.
Yeah, it was Bubba, right?
Yeah, Bubba started it.
Yeah. Bubba was
We had
like
faith in
working
him.
on this. I mean, we did. We all had faith. We were like, all right, well, Bubba
Yeah.
is better at the outdoors. Maybe he can figure it out.
He basically was getting these 5-gallon buckets from the fishing dock, just loading them up with mud, plopping them down in the BA, and then just like slowly like building it up like it was a clay pot. And he just
And we
kept
thought maybe
doing
it would
and
dry
doing it.
like a brick
Yeah.
situation, but
It was
didn't
not
really end up
drying.
doing
Well, the
that.
issue was it was
Dry.
still raining, so it
Yeah.
couldn't dry.
Right. And then it just starts running everywhere. So it started as like a blob, but like also I noticed there was a blob, but it was never hollow.
True.
So it was just like
so
this
how
big
are we supposed
pile.
to live in it?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Like
but-
at first it seemed smart, and then it started
Yeah.
getting higher. And
He
then
tried
like, the
his best.
second a drop of rain would hit it, it would be like avalanche of mud everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, and then
really
Tyler
made the
came-
situation worse,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Worse, rather than
But we
better.
all had faith in him, so we were all super confused. Then Tyler went over there, and like when it was me, he was just like, "Maeve, what?" But then when it was Bubba, he was just like, I think he was sad. He was like, "Bubba, what have you
He's
created?"
really disappointed,
He
honestly.
wasn't mad, he was disappointed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disappointed.
He's like, we have
and
still have nowhere to live. Here
Yeah.
you are with a
He was
blob
like-
of mud.
Yeah, he
How
was
are we
like,
gonna live in
everyone's
that?
just
We
messing
can't.
around. Like, this isn't funny. There's like 70 of us here. What are we supposed to do? Like, someone needs to help now. So then he was like, all right, well, Maeve couldn't do anything. Who else is in the GA? Like, Gwen's there. She's older. She has glasses. Maybe she can see
She has
better.
glasses. She's probably
Maybe
smart.
she can see better and use her noggin and create literally anything. And then Gwen told me, this is what she told me from the story. She was like, I was looking around camp trying to find something, and like sticks had the same energy as like the whole straw ordeal. She was like, we need something more like fan-like,
Yes.
cover more area.
Exactly.
So she like got up in this tree and starts taking the leaves. And she was taking all the leaves down from like back over here. Like she took some fern leaves and everything. And it looked,
It was gorgeous.
That's actually part of the
Stunning.
reason why we have the fern, why that brush is cleared out.
Yes.
Because she used most of that in
Yeah.
her house. But
yeah, but like everyone can vouch like that.
That thing
cabin was stunning.
beautiful.
it was stunning.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, it was so
It was
beautiful.
very tropical looking. I would have liked to live in it.
Yeah,
There's
and-
a waterfall too, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a fountain.
no, it was literally
There's
beautiful.
a fountain in the
And
middle.
Tyler thought the exact same thing. Like he walked over and was like, Gwen, you have done it. Like this is
This is it.
beautiful.
This is it.
And then, oh my God, it was so sad. We were all standing there admiring it, ready to like walk through. It had these big palm leaves that just like, they would sway like that. And you would like enter in through them like curtains. And the second we were all 1 inch away from walking in, the whole thing just like one gust of wind and it just
gone.
goes everywhere. It was so sad. And
That's the worst.
and we were so excited about this one. Like it was actually gonna be the best one. And then it just I'm forever.
It's hard to think about.
Yeah,
It's really hard to-
That was like the
to retell
saddest
the
one of the day
story.
too, because we were all just like so excited. We were like
And we were
finally.
like, finally we get to lay down in a house out of the storm.
It could
Yeah.
fit all of the campers. It was
yeah.
insane.
It was giant. It was probably the biggest house I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no,
RIP
RIP.
to the house.
And
It's
then-
really sad.
That's when you came in.
Okay,
right?
so yeah, that's when I built my house, which I think my idea was really good. Obviously, it didn't end up working out. But I went to the Arts Lodge because, you know me, love art stuff. I was like, what's in here? There's so many supplies in here. I could easily make a cabin out of anything in here. Keep in mind, the Arts Lodge was like knocked over. It wasn't an actual Arts Lodge, but the pile of art stuff was still there. So I'm like rummaging.
And not destroyed.
Yeah,
so
not destroyed, surprisingly.
Good sign.
I'm like rummaging through this pile and we have so many colored pencils. So I was like, okay, perfect. It's like a log cabin essentially with colored pencils. But the problem came with my construction skills. I'm not a huge architect. So it ended up being like more of a colored pencil nest, which I thought was very beautiful. It was rainbow and I really liked it, but there was not really any protection from the elements.
Yeah.
So pretty much immediately Tyler came over and was like, Kylie, like, how are we gonna live in this? And I'm like, well, it's a nest where we can be like
You didn't
birds.
make a nest when it was raining, so it just rained on top of you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
pretty much was raining. I didn't really think that through. I thought the rainbow nest would be like really cute.
It
and,
was
like,
an art
pretty.
piece. It was like
It was
It was
beautiful,
gorgeous,
of course.
honestly.
Yeah, yours and Gwen's were both really pretty. I mean,
Installation.
Yeah,
yes,
honestly.
it was more of a aesthetic sculpture.
Yeah, than a
Yeah.
Modern
house.
art, of course.
And then eventually the nest filled with water and just right into the pond, just flowed right into the pond. And I was like, all this work for nothing, but you know, whatever. Maybe someone else would come along.
Yeah, and then
Build that
that's when
house.
Daniel was like, "Oh, I have an idea," and we were like, "Okay, Daniel." Like,
This was very exciting.
We've
We were
had
like,
a couple
finally.
of failures.
Yeah. So I'm trying to construct something to show you how. So Daniel basically was like, "All right, listen. If there's one thing we got at camp,
What is that
it
noise?
is a lot of pine cones."
Big
And we were
time.
like, "Yeah, no, for sure we do. We have so many pine cones.
More than enough.
Yeah, more than enough to fill the entire lodge twice." So Daniel, the smart boy he is, looked at these pine cones and saw that there was like ridges. So he was like, "Oh, I can like connect them together like puzzle pieces, like Lincoln logs."
Yes,
You know?
exactly like that.
So like I'm just trying to.
So you
So like you could put one ridge like
Yeah.
this and one ridge like this, and like they would be like stuck like this.
Cute.
Right?
Perfect. That's actually a really good example. That's exactly what it
Thank
looked
you,
like.
thank
so.
you.
if you like flip them over, they basically were like glued together.
Yes. So structurally, great idea. However, it was more when Daniel made this one, because of the shape of the pine cones, it kind of created like
A dome?
an egg-shaped kind of dome, kind of hive moment.
a hive moment. It was kind of cute.
Which
Like little
was,
bees.
again, cute. Everyone had really cute designs. But this one, like, it just swayed left. Like, we were watching it just, like, sway left. Like, the top of the egg was like this. And then the wind came and it was like, and we're like,
oh no,
and then
it's happening.
it went like, and then we're like,
We're
and
like
then-
trying to hold it up, but
Yes.
like
And then finally, it was like Humpty Dumpty watching that thing come down. It like basically cracked, and there was nothing anybody could do.
It's painful to think
full
about.
Titanic. We're holding it up, and then the other part of the ship just broke over us. So it was a
Yeah. Well, Daniel made the same mistake I did,
I
which
did
was
too.
creating no door.
doors
Yeah,
are important.
That was the main issue.
Yeah. But you know, when you're looking for shelter, you're not like, how am I going to get in it? You're like, I'm gonna.
Build it around myself.
Yes.
Essentially build it around myself.
Exactly.
You never have to leave.
Daniels could only fit 3 people too.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of an oversight.
Considering there were 70 of us, it was like, okay,
Yeah.
You had to pick 3.
Yeah. But like the rest of us, like intention was there. Like at this, so think about it. Like at this point, we've gone through so many houses. We're all just freaking
we're
out at this point.
exhausted. It's been like on like 18 hours at this point in this tornado that just will not end. It was rough.
Yeah, and Tyler's like getting more and more angry. We've eaten every can of beans in all of camp. We're freaking out. Ugh, and it was just so bad. But then this is an example I made of how Sophie made next.
Oh yeah, Sophie's is good.
Sophie's was good, but okay.
We'll get to that.
Sophie's was second best. So let's say that.
Yeah, but she decided to do this thing where she like took all the pine needles and like weaved them.
Yeah.
She like it took her forever. So like
It was actually very
so, like,
impressive.
yeah.
She did it pretty fast.
So I was the first one to start, and she started when I started, and hers wasn't done till like way later than mine because she really like was dedicated. Like she weaved all of the
Put her
braided
blood,
all
sweat,
of
and
them.
tears into that.
Yeah, it was so pretty. So basically, it was like 2 pine needle quilts, like that, like a teepee kind of like
Yeah.
thing, like a tent sort of.
Yeah.
And it was
40 feet tall.
no, it was big enough to fit all of us. But the problem was that like, you know, with pine needles, like the second you like bend it, it like
Breaks.
snaps.
Yeah.
So once she was braiding them, and she made the 2 quilts, and they were so nice. And then she put them up, and the second she like connected them at the top and like tried to make a base, the whole quilt just like cracked in half like this.
Collapsed in on itself.
This is
The
what it
top
was?
broke, and then it all just spiraled down. Chain effect.
Yeah.
This is essentially what
This
happened.
is what
Here's an
happened. It was like
example.
this. Mer,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and then like
Mer.
and then we were all just like, that was our when
That was our-
we
literally
saw
our
this
last
thing that
resort.
Sophie created, we were like, oh, she did it, we're saved. Like
We had
camp-
already gotten our hopes up that we'd have shelter, and then dreams ripped away.
Yeah.
It was really sad.
So then Bliss was like, you know what, guys? Like, honestly, I'm just gonna go for a quick little dip in the pond because this is all too much. Like, and also a
Too
bunch
much
of
to handle. It was
Yeah.
stressful.
but a bunch of like the cabins had like fallen into the pond, like the belongings in there. So she's like, I'm gonna go in there, try to find some of my clothes so I can hang them up to dry. And then she sees all the pondweed, and she was like,
Hey,
okay.
wait a minute.
Yeah. So she saw it, and she was like, okay, around sushi is seaweed. And so
And sushi holds together relatively well.
Yeah.
relatively well.
As long
So
as
she
you
was
use
like,
chopsticks.
exactly. So she's like, so if I take the pondweed, leave it to dry in the loge for a minute, and let it create this crisp, like that could be a house. And we were like, wait, facts. Like,
Facts.
that is
Big
so
facts.
true. We didn't even think of that. So then she leaves all this pondweed out, and it's all drying, and we're all just like, look. Have you ever heard that you can't like watch water boil? Like you shouldn't
Yeah,
watch
it takes way too
forever.
long.
This is literally what was happening. We were,
It's like
we were
watching
sitting
paint
there
dry.
like,
And the smell was so
Yeah,
bad.
it didn't
Rancid.
smell very good. It smelled like goose poop.
yeah. So
Well,
finally
like
it
anything
dries
for
into
shelter.
these sheets that we could use to like create this, that she started to like build this house. And she was doing good. I mean, she did the regular schmegular like Maeve Daniel thing where like she didn't have a door.
She pretty
This,
much
that,
built
and
it
the
around
other.
herself. It was pretty big though.
Yeah, but it was huge and it was nice. And then she built it, and then we totally forgot. The second it rained, the whole thing turned back into like smush.
It was raining off and on.
Yes,
so.
until the
Yeah.
second it started raining again, it turned right back into those same old like gross pondweed after we had let it dry out for so long.
Then we had a pile in the middle of the ball field of just
Yeah,
disgusting.
Bliss was
pondweed.
picking pondweed out of her hair for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her.
Yeah, and then thank God Luke, King
King
Luke.
Luke, save the day.
Yeah, basically Luke is the king of this
I
story.
come and I was like, why are you guys making this all this weird stuff? We have to have plenty of wood.
Laying around.
So I just
That
made
we
a
didn't
log
even see.
cabin. And those cabins are the same ones that are here today. It worked. I mean, this is an example.
This is a small scale.
Yeah.
As you can see,
Small
very
scale, yeah.
stable.
But I don't know why they made it out of pondweeds and like
Yeah, we didn't even think
tiny little.
to use all
There's
the
just wood
spare
that we
wood
could make
laying around.
actual cabins out of. And this is the cabin we're in today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how the activity building got here.
Yeah.
It was
Actually,
originally
this
a
is
shelter.
This is the original model.
Yeah, summer boat too.
Yeah, but you know, Tyler was very happy once Luke finally figured it out. But I mean, it was quite the day. And you would think that this was like a surprise challenge. Like, no, we were all freaking
No,
out.
It
Like,
was a
this
necessity.
yes.
It was a necessity.
Yes, it was essential work. And it seems like when we were like in that moment, we were all just thinking so extreme.
Yeah.
Like, never in my life would I be like, you know what, I'm gonna build a house out of straws.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
Who would
so
do that?
random.
That'd
Who
be
would
weird.
do that?
So
But I was
random.
just panicked. So I was like, what's in my car?
We were
Straws.
searching for anything.
Could I have slept in my car? Yeah.
Didn't think of
Well,
that.
there's campers you have to think about.
Well, right. But just, I mean, the drama of it all. Like,
Sure.
it was very dramatic. But you know what? Like, thanks to Luke's little engineering mind over here, we are all living in these beautiful cabins. So, yeah, that's pretty much the story of the, you
How
know,
the cabins were built.
how the cabins were built.
Thank you, Luke.
They're not.
No
yeah.
problem.
Thanks
Honestly,
to Luke.
shout out Luke.
Yeah.
Don't know what we
So-
do without him. Probably be living in pondweed cabins at
Yeah.
this point.
So that's a story we've been meaning to share with you for a while, but you know, it's taken us a long time to like accept everything because I mean, even to this day, I think
It
about
was hard to talk about at first, all of the failure.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, to this day, I'm like, what was I thinking? Was it those straws? Like, what was that?
Yeah, so
If you ever see a
embarrassing.
straw at camp, you know where it came from.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pick
seriously.
it up and give it back to me.
It took me forever.
Yeah, it was rough.
We still with you when I want it though.
Yeah, you did.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, I just laugh when I'm sad. So, like,
I just laughed.
Do you guys have any questions about the cabins or any other stories you want to share? Maybe like a camp story?
hello.
Jack actually ate in any camp stories?
Favorite camp memories?
I have a camp memory.
Oh, let's
Ooh,
hear it.
share.
My first year at camp, I was in cabin 7 and I had this one counselor, and I forget her name, but she was awesome. And one day being nacho night, she decided
most important day.
to put us in a little competition. She was like, you can't eat with your hands. You have to eat just with your face. No hands nacho night. Let's go. And she was like, whoever gets the most cheese in their nose wins. And
That's the
I
goal.
purposely ate so messily with my face to get all the cheese I possibly could in my nose to win. You know what I won?
What?
What?
Like some candy. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. That candy
That sounds
tasted
so fun.
good.
I can't
It's like
believe we
You
Yeah.
earned
nacho
that
cheese-
candy.
Nacho cheese and success.
The candy cheese.
for you.
The candy tasted better because you earned it
Mm-hmm.
at that point.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's my camp memory. My favorite camp memory.
I'm trying to think of one of my favorite
I
camp
don't have a
memories.
favorite. I don't have a favorite. I can share my first camp memory. That's really short.
My first camp
but,
memory
like,
was Kylie.
Oh yeah, our May's first camp experience. But yeah, my first camp memory. Lauren was my counselor, and I think it was literally like the first day. Like I don't even think my parents had left yet. It was like after swim test, and obviously like you can like sign the cabins. I want to say I was like 9. I don't even remember what my first year was. But I went outside of the cabin to the front door of 13 and just wrote my name on the front door. And Lauren was so nice. She was like, actually, you're not supposed to do that. So I just thought it was funny because it didn't wear off till like 2 years ago. So you can still see it. It was really funny. That was my first camp experience.
Go Kylie.
Walked up.
It's like, I don't know why I thought I could sign outside the cabin when no one else had signed outside the cabin. Like, Kylie, what are you thinking? I was 9, so.
funny.
Also, Kelsey was in that cabin. Party.
Guess who's in my first cabin?
What was your first camp experience?
My first camp experience ever. I walked in and I was like older for starting camp, kind of. Like, well, I mean, not older, but like,
We were like, what, 13?
yeah, because it was summer of 2014. Yeah, I think I was 13. And I walked into my cabin and it was Kylie, Kelsey, and Jenna, and they all
And we
were
were already a
so
squad.
yeah, they were already like their own little crew, and I just walked in and I was like, hey, what's
Like,
going on?
"Hey."
And they were like, who are you? No, I'm just kidding. They were like, they were like giving me all the point. I was so confused about everything camp. Like I walked into the lodge and everyone was smashing cups everywhere, and I was like, "Rah!" And they were like, come on, give it a try. And I was like, okay. And of course I loved it, but I was just so confused the first 2 days. Like it took me so long to figure out what was going on. Couldn't swim, try and take the swim test.
Oh yeah, Maeve and I have that in common. We can't swim.
Yeah, so
Really
I was
hard.
just I was just going through it the first day. I was like, what is going on? But they literally adopted me.
Yeah, Maeve
And-
joined our squad.
yeah, I did. I felt so cool when I walked into camp
Coolest
my
squad.
first week.
Coolest squad.
And I was
camp.
with Kylie and Kelsey and Jenna. I was like, whoa, who am I? But yeah, that's like my first ever camp memory. I don't really remember like specifics of that week, but I just remember having fun.
I also remember that week was when the Kim Kardashian
Game. Yes.
just came out, and Kelsey used to sneak play it at night, and she didn't tell us till the end of the week that she's playing Kim Kardashian game the whole week.
I do
Like,
remember
Kelsey, are you
that. Don't do
kidding?
that.
Yeah, don't do that. She's a rebel.
She is a rebel.
So,
It ruins
yeah.
your camp experience. She would tell you that.
Yeah, true. She would agree.
Anyone else have a favorite camp memory? Aiden, Ashley, Jack. I'm playing with
Jack, I feel
marshmallow.
like you're full of stories. Tell us a story.
Yeah, Jack, I'm tired of hearing my own voice. Help.
I don't have any stories really.
Do you have like your favorite or like first camp memory?
The farthest back I can remember is the first time I played knockout with Grayson.
Aw.
Fun.
Jack, I remember how little you used to be your
I
first
know,
year.
you're
You
so
like
little.
sprouted.
What was I, like 7?
Yeah.
Jack, I have a memory.
Now I am double digit.
Jack, I have a kind of a funny memory of you. From your
What?
first year of camp. So your first year of camp, we were in the arts lodge. It was you, me, and a bunch of other people, but you had just lost like a marble or something that you were really attached to. And I felt so bad, but you came up to me and you were like kind of crying, like kind of really upset about this marble, and I brought you over to this bin full of other marbles, and you were like, oh my god, instantly all the sadness was gone, and you were like, can I have some? And I was like, have as many marbles as you need. So I walked away. It was really funny.
I remember Jack when he had such like cute little nicknames for all of us. Like I was
he used to
I
call
was
me Kiki.
yeah, he
Little.
me. That was me.
Oh, that's actually why I call
Yeah.
Maeve all the time. That's actually why.
Yeah,
so.
it came from you, Jack. You've inspired Kylie's only name that she calls me.
Maeve.
Actually, do you remember the unfortunate thing I said to you last year by accident when I was really tired? She's smiling. She remembers.
She knows.
I don't remember this.
Or not teach me, like the opposite of teach me.
Oh, the secret game?
Mao.
Oh,
whatever.
now.
Aiden, I'm actually
The one
like
that you can't tell
really
the
good at
rules.
Mao now.
You're
I
supposed to play.
haven't been able to play. Ashley hates it.
I love Mao. You literally
My
taught me
mom
Mao,
hates it, and
and
my
it took
dad.
me so long to catch on.
No,
But now I'm like a Mao master, so I teach other people how to play.
What is it?
Mao.
Can't
The only
talk
rule
about
of
it.
Mao is that you can't know the rules of Mao.
So actually, I last week, along with my father and mom, took a trip to Cape Cod. And while he was counting how many Star Wars collectible cards he has,
Right.
he found out that just the cards from A New Hope would get him like $2,000, I think.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh, that's craziness.
Aiden.
Yes.
So Mao's your favorite game?
It's so fun.
No, not my favorite game.
Not your favorite, but you like to play it?
Now you can understand why it took me
Yeah.
2 weeks to learn how to play, because you can't tell anyone how to play, so you just have to watch.
Yeah, I wanna ask Aiden
You
how
have
to
to
play,
like
but I know
play
he's
and just.
After this game of Mao, does anyone want to play Scribble.io?
I don't think we have
We'll
time.
probably do that maybe
Next week at
next
free time.
week. at
Next
free
week.
Okay.
game
Free
now.
time activity. I've never played Scribble.io.
I don't know how to play now.
Oh yeah. Well,
Is
I
that
can't
how
tell
you
you.
play?
I
Basically,
can't tell
digital
you.
dictionary.
All right, give me this. Like, how is it like picnic where you do like a statement?
Oh, it's like a card game.
It's a card game.
And then you have
And
to
the
like,
only rule
watch
is
and
that you
figure out
can't,
how-
no one can say the rules.
It's very, very.
And it's even more
complicated.
confusing because sometimes, for example, if you're Aiden and like a Mao Master, you could have slightly different rules than another Mao Master that is in charge of the game. So it's
You
very
can
I know
change the
Aiden's
rules.
rules, that's how I know it. But I just learned them by watching him destroy people in Mao for 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Who
when
was
I
that
was-
girl that I
when I
played
was
Mal with
Mao
all the time?
Master-
Huh?
Yeah.
No.
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 But I've used the normal rules.
Aiden uses the normal rules, he says.
I believe you.
I played, I don't remember who it was. I played with someone else that had like slightly different rules and I was
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
I have made such a mess. Yeah. Well, do you guys have any more?
Any
what
last
else-
words?
Any last words / stories / questions about our houses
No. Guess not.
/ comments / discussion about
/
s'mores?
anything you want to say. Oh, side note, we did decide that s'mores are sandwiches and when they're toasted, they're paninis.
Correct.
Would like to add that before we go.
Okay, so I just had a sandwich for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
It was a breakfast sandwich,
Yeah.
essentially.
I just had a breakfast sandwich.
Correct.
See, it's not unhealthy. It's a breakfast sandwich.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What makes it a breakfast sandwich is what the time you eat it.
I am building Lego Star Wars
Anything can be a
thing.
breakfast.
Like I said, fiber and calcium right here.
And protein.
and protein in the gram.
In the gram. From the pine needles.
All right. Well,
I am
thank
building
you.
Lego
Thanks, guys, for joining us.
for Tasty Talking.
Bye.
Star Wars.